see a grammar part which is there for your unit test 1. So first let's see noun. What is noun? A noun is a naming word. So it tells a name of a person, place, animal, thing or an idea. What are the types of nouns? There are common noun, proper noun, collective noun, abstract noun, concrete noun, countable noun, uncountable noun, compound noun, and so on. Common noun. What is common noun? A common noun is a word that indicates a name of a person, place or a thing, a particular name. It's not a particular name, it's a common name. For example, boys, girls, and so on. Proper noun. Proper noun is a name which is given to a single person, place or a thing. And always this proper noun starts with capital letter. See, for example, this name is Nick. So we write N as a capital letter. So these are the few examples of common noun and proper noun. So here you see Alex is a wonderful player. So Alex is a proper noun. So it is A is in capital letter. Player is a common noun. He lives in Sydney. So Sydney is a name of a place. So we are writing S in capital letter. So Sydney Sixers is the team he plays for. So Sydney Sixers is a team's name. So we are writing Sydney Sixers in the capital letter and the team is a common name for the team. So we are common noun. His friend Max accompanies him. So friend is a common noun whereas Max is a proper noun and so we are using capital M here. So these are some more common and proper noun. Next comes collective noun. So collective noun is a noun that is a form of a group of people. It's a name given to a group of people, animal, objects, ideas, etc. So our team is enjoying an unbroken winning streak. So here a team is a collective noun because team does not contain one person. It's a collective person. There is a pack of hyenas outside. So many hyenas are there. So we get a pack of hyenas. We used to say pack of cards. So you haven't lived until you have seen a herd of wild horses. Herd of wild horses. The group of horses. We call it as herd of wild horses, herd of cows and so on. So these are the few examples of collective noun. Herd, flock, swarm, pile, gang. And next comes countable noun. The nouns which we can count is called as countable nouns. Okay. And it can be both singular or plural. Cow, girl, table. Uncountable noun. The noun which we cannot count is called as uncountable noun. Example, sugar, rice, etc. And now let's come to our main topic, concrete noun and abstract noun. So what is concrete noun? The nouns which we can see and touch are called as concrete noun. That is, we can experience with our sense organs like we can hear them, see or smell, taste or feel them. So far we saw some types of nouns like countable noun, uncountable noun, singular, plural noun, collective noun, right? So these all types of nouns will come under the heading concrete noun. So all types of nouns will also become a concrete noun because all the nouns, all the names we have given to the names, place, animal, thing, all that what either we can see, we can touch, we can smell and even we can feel. So those nouns, those names comes under the concrete noun. So these are the examples of concrete noun. Whale, tiger, mouse, voice, chair, soup, belt, food. There are so many concrete nouns. And now, what is abstract noun? Abstract nouns are the nouns which we can't see, touch, smell, hear or taste. It is just the expressions, like it might express our ideas, feelings, emotions, qualities, and the state. Okay. Example: health, peace, emotion, wisdom, beauty, courage, love, strength, happiness, etc. So remember that concrete nouns are the nouns which we can see, touch, hear, taste and smell. Abstract nouns are that which we cannot see, touch, hear or smell. I think you are clear with the concept concrete noun and abstract noun. And now we'll see what are conjunctions and its types. So first let's know what is conjunction. Conjunctions are the words which join either the two words, phrases or clause. Okay, these conjunctions can also be called as joiner or connectors. There are three types of conjunctions: coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction and correlative conjunctions. Now let's see about coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are the conjunctions which brings the ideas together. So there are 7 coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, so. So these are the coordinating conjunctions. So these coordinating conjunctions, they join the independent sentences of equal importance. They show the equalities of the ideas they join. To remember these 7 words of the conjunctions, we used to remember the acronym fanboys, where F stands for A stands for and, N stands for nor, B for but, O for or, Y yet, and S for so. For example, see now for, where this for can be used. So we can use for to explain the reasons or the purpose, just like because. See example, I am excited for today is my birthday. Where we also used to say I am excited because today is my birthday. So instead of the places of because, we can use for in few places. And the next one is and. And where do we add and? We use and to add or join some more things. Pen and books are here. Nor. Where do we use nor? So nor is used to present an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. அதாவது முதலியே அந்த சென்டென்ஸில் வந்து ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் பார்ட் இருக்கும், அதுக்கப்புறமும் ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் பார்ட்டை தான் நம்ம சொல்ல போகிறோம். அதுக்காக we are using it nor. I don't wake up early in the morning, nor do I like to wake up at 5 p.m. Next is a but. So where do we use but? We use but to show the opposing idea, that is to show the contrast. That park is good for kids playing but not good for jogging. அந்த பார்க் குழந்தைங்க விளையாடுறதுக்கு நல்லா இருக்குது, ஆனால் ஜாகிங்க்கு சரியில்லை. Or, where do we use or? We use or to show the choice between the two alternatives. Are you eating pizza or burger? Would you like to have tea or coffee? Next comes yet. So where do we use yet அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, to introduce the contrast idea that precede the logical idea. ஒரு contrast ஐடியாவோட வந்து ஒரு கரெக்டான லாஜிக்கல் ஐடியாவோட வந்து we use the yet. I always take book to beach, yet I never see to turn a page. So எதுக்காக அப்படின்னு சொன்னோம்னா, we use so to tell the consequences of something. Like she loves to watch makeup videos, so she is a good makeup artist. So these are some of the examples of using the coordinating conjunction. What do you like to have with coffee? A chocolate cake or cheesecake? His 2 favorite sports are football and tennis. I wanted to go to the beach, but Sarah refused. I am allergic to cat, yet I have 3 of them. I am a vegetarian, so I don't eat any meat. Okay. Next comes the subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are those conjunctions which join a part of the sentence to another, but which will be a dependent clause. So we have two clauses, independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause is a clause which gives a sentence which gives a full meaning, but dependent clause will not give a full meaning, is joined with a independent clause. So always this dependent clause will lie on the independent clause to give its meaning. Okay. So when the bell rang, my dog barked loudly. I took my umbrella because it was raining. Here, because is a subordinating conjunction. Although it was hot, he was wearing a coat. Although. So see here, although it has come in the beginning of the sentence. So these subordinate conjunctions can either come in the middle of the sentence or in the beginning of the sentence. Though it was raining, she went out. Though. He lives in a small house even though he is a millionaire. Though. So these are some more subordinating conjunctions after, although, as, because, before, until, unless. So here we have two chances of asking the questions, like we have learned two types of conjunctions, like coordinating conjunction and subordinating conjunction. The questions may come like this, like either you would have been asked to fill in the blanks and asked to write coordinating conjunction or subordinating conjunction, or you would have been given a sentences and asked to find the conjunction and write its type, so that you should find it whether it is a coordinating conjunction or subordinating conjunctions. Okay, yes. Hello children. So now in this video we are going to see the kinds of preposition. So first we should know what is preposition. So what is preposition? Preposition shows the placement of an object. So it also connects the noun or pronoun with the rest of the object. So first one, it shows the placement of the object. So the book is on the table. He goes to work by the car. So here on and by, it shows that first example, it shows where the book is. And second sentence shows that how he goes by the car. So this preposition, it not only shows the placement of the object, it also tells us the timing, direction, location and even place where it is. The next one, it connects the noun or pronoun with the rest of the sentence. So on the table. So here the book is on the table. This on the table, it connects it with the, this phrase connected with the noun here. The book is on the table. By the car, this sentence connected with the, he goes to work by the car. So it connects to the rest of the sentence. So the preposition, it connects with the rest of the sentences. Next comes kinds of preposition. We have simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition and prepositional phrase. Here double and compound preposition is, there is not much difference between the double and compound preposition. Prepositional phrase we are not learning in this year. Maybe in the 6th, 7th and standard we will be learning the prepositional phrases. And here now we are going to learn only about the simple preposition and the compound preposition. What is simple preposition? The simple prepositions are the prepositions which are one word prepositions. They are very, very simple prepositions. Example, at, by, for, from, in, of, from, out, through, up. These are the few examples of the simple preposition. Now let's look into some of the examples. So he sat on the chair. There is some milk in the fridge. She was hiding under the table. The cat jumped off the counter. He drove over the bridge. She lost her ring at the beach. At. They were sitting by the tree. So by. So here see on, in, under, of, over, at, by. These all come under the simple preposition. The next topic is compound preposition. So what is compound preposition? This compound prepositions are the prepositions which are formed by prefixing a preposition to a noun, adjective or adverb. So for example, side. Side is a noun. So we add be to side and it becomes beside and it acts as a preposition. Then comes a till. Till is again a preposition. You know, till means it's a drawer where we keep some of the things, right? Till. So to the till we add an and it becomes until and it acts as a preposition. Then in, out, they are all the adverb. So to the adverb in, out, within, out, without. We can add anything to the noun, adverb or adjective. We just prefix some of the letters and add to the noun, adjective and adverb, and so we change it as a preposition that acts as a compound preposition. And most probably these compound prepositions begin with A and B. See here we have other examples like with, within, without, towards, until also. Okay, but mostly it starts with A and B. For example, see before, behind, within, without, beside, until, towards, beneath, among, around. Now let's look into some of the examples. He fell into the river. So here the preposition is into. She sat between her kids. Between. There is nothing inside the jar. The teacher stood behind me. The boy ran across the road. I don't like the attitude towards her. We just had soup instead of a full meal. Instead of. Besides all these, corn must be cut. Besides. He will return within a week. Within. So here into, between, inside, behind, across, towards, instead of, besides. These all are the compound prepositions. So these are the two types of prepositions in your book, simple preposition and compound preposition. So for exam, there are only two choices of asking you the question. Either you will be given and fill in the blanks where you will be asked to fill in with the preposition, either asking fill in with the compound preposition or simple preposition. The other way of asking the question is like you have been given some sentences where you will be asked to find the preposition and write it whether it is a compound preposition or a simple preposition. Okay, only these two questions are there for you. All the best.